Hi, I'm Deej, and this is Uma, and we're the directors of the Institute of Somatic Sexology. We started the Institute because we're passionate about somatic education. So, as well as thinking about and speaking about the subject matter that people are studying, bringing in the information that the body can contribute to learning. So, finding ways to engage the body in your learning experiences. One of the more important programs that we offer is the Certificate in Sexological Bodywork.
To give you an understanding and an opportunity to explore somatic practices, I'd like to invite you on a little journey with us, just for a few minutes, connecting with your own body. Deej, would you like to join us?
Sure.
Okay, great. So when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to bring your awareness inwards. Closing your eyes if that supports you. Connecting with your breath, inviting your breath to deepen. Letting your belly expand as you inhale and fall back down as you exhale. Focusing your attention and your awareness as much as possible on your breath for a few moments. Really expanding that belly and letting it fall, as well as letting the breath fall out of your body as you exhale. With your breath, also notice your physical body. Notice your skin and what sensations are present for you there. Notice the deeper layers of the body. What's going on underneath your skin, in your muscles, your bones, the different organs in your body. What are you noticing physically there? And you might notice lots and lots of different things. You might notice nothing at all, or something in between. There's no need to adjust or change it. Simply notice what's there, even if what's there is nothing. Allow it to be just as it is. Stay connected with your breath. And with your next inhalation, shift your awareness slightly from your physical landscape to your emotional landscape. Notice what emotions are present for you in your body right now. And again, you might notice nothing, you might notice something, you might notice lots. Intend to not judge or evaluate those emotions. Simply allow them to be. Be curious about what you're feeling. Notice where these emotions are situated on the landscape of your body. And another breath. And gently shifting your awareness again to your erotic landscape. What are you noticing erotically in your body right now? Without anything needing or not needing to be there. Noticing and allowing. Staying with your breath. And slowly, gently bringing your awareness back out without losing that connection with the body. What did you notice just now?
Really aware of my feet and quite a deep sort of pulsing just below my solar plexus. The Certificate in Sexological Bodywork is a 6-month process that is divided into 3 modules that are more or less evenly weighted in terms of the learning for you. The first module is the online group study, the second module is the Embodied Intensive, and the third module is the supervised sessions. And through these 3 modules, you're developing skills that as a practitioner you can use to support your clients. And you're supporting your clients in developing what we call somatic awareness, somatic opening, and somatic practice. So the first set are different practices in order to develop the client's capacity to more fully live with their awareness in the body, to be more aware of what's going on in the body, to have more choice about where they place their awareness. The second piece is engaging when we say somatic opening, we're talking about engaging what people call neuroplasticity. So about 3 decades ago, scientists thought that the brain and nervous system was relatively fixed. Now we know that's not true. Your brain and your nervous system is constantly developing through your life and interaction with people in the world around you. The neurons in your body and the neurons of the cells in your brain and your nervous system, every time you do anything through your body, neurons have to communicate with each other, communicate and connect with each other. So if you do something through your body that it's never done before, neurons have to connect in a way that they've never connected before. If you then repeat that activity over time, those neurons form more permanent connections. So you literally develop more neural circuitry through your body, which means that you can access more sensation, you can access more pleasure, and you can develop a greater capacity to allow yourself to be with the full range of experience open to human beings. And the somatic practice piece is how we install that in the body. So we're supporting our clients and finding creative ways to come back at these new experiences that you helped them explore or create, and to, between sessions and in different ways through their lives, repeat those type of activities so that experience gets laid down in their neural circuitry.
Module 1 of the Sexological Bodywork training is our online group study. It's hosted on the private forum, only open to students and faculty. The forum has 12 somatic inquiries in it. Each inquiry has a wealth of information, lots of reading and lots of viewing, but that information is only there to inform the most important part of each inquiry, which is the hands-on practice, a somatic practice. These somatic practices help students understand and embody the different tools, skills, and micro skills of sexological bodywork.
So we're, through the course of Module 1, exploring various modalities, and if you look in the course description, there's a list of those modalities there. If you don't yet have a copy of the course description, please email us at info@issaustralia.com. So that's ISS for Institute of Somatic Sexology, and we'll email the course description to you. Two of those modalities are orgasmic yoga and active receiving, and we just want to talk a little bit about those two, just to give you a bit of a flavor of what the practices are about. So orgasmic yoga is self-erotic meditations, and on the forum there's an incredible range of ideas for different practices drawing from different traditions, and the idea is to have a go at a lot of different ways of doing things, so you can see how that feels through your body and see how different types of practices and ideas might support different clients in different ways. Uma and I feel quite strongly that the time for dogma is over, and that our job as educators is to nurture your curiosity, to have a go with a wide range of different activities and see what you learn in the process.
Active receiving is a modality where we coach our clients to actively receive. Actively receive meaning learning how to self-regulate their own bodies while receiving through breath, through movement, through placement of awareness, and through sound. And also learning how to ask for what it is that, to first of all find out what it is that they want and ask for it, creating really flowing and effortless communication. In an active receiving session, the client is the one leading the session. It's a very empowering thing to teach almost anybody on this planet.
So for each of the 12 somatic inquiries, you go onto the forum, you open the somatic inquiry, and you do the reading and the viewing, and you use that to inform the hands-on component. So the hands-on component is either with yourself or with volunteers, and Uma will talk about volunteers in just a moment. So you do the reading and the viewing, and you do the hands-on component, and then you write a report. It's a brief report, maximum 300 words, about what you learnt from doing the hands-on aspect of the inquiry. You then post that online, and all your classmates post their reports online. So it's really quite an exciting time, because there's an incredible amount of sharing of authentic and in the moment experiences of people learning through their bodies and with other people. So the process I've just described takes at least 25 hours. So an important question for you to feel into is, do you have 25 hours a week for the 8 weeks of Module 1?
For these 8 weeks, you will need some volunteers. Volunteers that you can invite to help you explore and experiment with the different modalities that we are learning here. These people need to be in a good place. They need to be in an empowered place in their lives, in a good place where they are not holding trauma in their body, where they are happy for you to work with them on these different modalities. You will need at least one person with a vulva-like configuration and one person with a penis-like configuration of any gender. Part of the practice and part of your learning as a future practitioner is in the invitation, feeling into what you're going to say to potential volunteers. How are you going to invite them into this work? It's really great practice to be able to do that now, so later on you are very comfortable and fluid in inviting clients to work with you.
When you're working with your volunteers, we need you to work to the Code of Practice of Sexological Bodywork, and you can get a copy of the Code of Ethics and Code of Practice online, or email us and we'll send you the link. A couple of the pieces from that to keep in mind when you're working with your volunteers. One is that as a practitioner, you're fully clothed. The client, or your volunteer in this case, might be clothed or might have the clothes off, depending on what the learning objective is that you're working on together. Touch when it happens is one directional, practitioner to client or student to volunteer, and you need to wear gloves and take care of other occupational health and safety requirements.
For most people, this is a very exciting time of learning. But when we are working with our own bodies and other people's bodies, unexpected things come up sometimes. We feel that it's important for every student to have access to support networks in their immediate environment. Personal support networks like loved ones, good friends and support groups, and professional support networks, practitioners of all kinds, psychotherapists, body workers, shamanic healers, or anyone that you resonate with, that you will be able to process some information, process some emotion should it come up. So we invite you to feel into your own support networks. Who are they? Who are the people around you who will be able to support you on your journey?
Through Module 1, you'll be in a pod of 3 or 4 of your classmates and a peer support person. So the peer support people are our second year students, and they're coming back to do a qualification called the Certificate in Somatic Sex Education. And part of their material is supporting you through Module 1. So that pod meets more or less weekly via Zoom at a time that you organise together, and it's there so that there's a regular check in place to explore how things are going for you, how's it going with the modalities, how's it going with the forum, with your volunteers, with language, anything that's useful or that you'd like to discuss with the group. The final piece of Module 1 is Alan Head's Anatomy and Physiology lectures, and we're really delighted that Alan Head is a part of this training because her knowledge about the body and sex and genitals and arousal and how it all works really is quite extraordinary. So Alan's recorded lectures for you. They're on the forum, so you can watch them and re-watch them. And we have 2 live question and answer sessions with Alan where you can ask her really anything about this body and arousal and how it all works. We also have 2 teleconferences with Joseph Kramer. Joseph started Sexological Bodywork back in 2003 and he talks a bit about how Sexological Bodywork came into being and how it developed and the theory behind some of the modalities. And he presents a teleconference about what he's currently working on and where he sees the work going in the future.
Module 2 of the Sexological Bodywork training is our Embodiment Intensive. This is where all students and faculty get together in the flesh to go over all the course material that we explored and experimented with in Module 1 and add some new material that is exclusive for the Embodiment Intensive. Somatic learning is experiential learning. Dee and I don't like to stand and lecture. We love to engage you with lots of innovative, interesting ways to take materials in.
In order for students at the intensive to get a lot of practice, students take turns giving and receiving sessions from each other. So at times you'll be in the role of sexological bodyworker and at times you'll be in the role of client. Something we need you to feel into is if you're at a place where you want to work with all the other students giving and receiving sessions, regardless of those students' sex, gender, age, body shape, fashion sense, or any of those other categories of attraction or disattraction that we have as human beings.
Another thing that we introduced at the Embodiment Intensive is our methodology of teaching erotic embodiments to group. It's a very simple and very efficient way of engaging groups in this material that's very interesting, it's innovative, and it's fun. We really feel that practitioners who have their capability of holding a group together in that way have a really great future in the industry.
The third module are the supervised sessions, and we're using the word supervision the way the psych industry in Australia at least uses it quite often. And that means that you're not being observed during your sessions. The supervision process happens after your session. And the process is to sit down immediately once your session is complete and fill in a guided report. And the report looks at how you set the session up, what was the learning objectives, what were the agreements you're working within, something really brief about what happened during the session. And what we're really interested in hearing about from you is what you learnt from doing the session and what your client learnt from doing the session. You then email the report to one of the facilitators and your coach. So the coaches again are our second year students, they're not professional coaches, but they're there to support you in reflecting on your work. After every 5 credits, you have a supervision session with your coach, and that's for you to reflect on your work up until that point, look at what's working really well, what's flowing, where are your challenges, what do you want to learn more of, what do you want to practice more of. And you need to get a total of 25 credits. So you get 1 credit for each session, and a session can be with an individual, can be with a couple, can be with people in other forms of relationship. And there are a few other ways that you can receive credits. So you can get credits for running workshops, for example. You can get some credits for receiving sessions. You can get some credits for producing practices or writing articles, but it's weighted towards your session work.
Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for listening to us. If it feels like this is a journey you would like to continue, the next step is to arrange a Zoom call with us. In this call, we will ask you a few questions, answer whatever questions you might have for us, and together we will all be able to establish whether this is the right training at the right time for you. So please get in touch, send us an email, and we will look forward to meeting you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you on Zoom.